Hello, whoever may see this. It is day 2 of being trapped in the ruins of Tapayawik. I ventured down here with my comrade Wikilocked. He went below, and I haven't heard from him since. I hope he's okay, and I hope to be out of here soon. Day 5. No sign of Wikilocked. I've begun making snow cones out of prayer potions and ice that I've shaved from the walls. I call the flavor blue. Day 8. The whispering wind begins to sound like voices telling me to give up. I believe Wikilocked to be dead. Day 13. I notice one of the cave walls in the ice looks exactly like a sculptured, beautiful face. Maybe this is the remains of an ancient statue, though I want to make sure I'm not going crazy. I got married! Me and Cave Face have been getting pretty serious, and I actually couldn't be happier with my life down here. Day 31, I was having some alone time with Cave Face, and the wall mysteriously opened up. But I discovered a strange artifact deep in the ruins. It must be some alien technology. I'm gonna try to use it. Hopefully it's safe. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to my new channel, It's Me 33. So it turns out this device is connected to something called the internet and YouTube, which is super cool. So I'm bringing you along with me as I'm stuck in this cave and I discover wacky stuff on YouTube. Charlie, oh my god, you did bite his finger. Charlie, oh my god, you're such a sassy unicorn. Let's see what else is on here. Guys, this isn't a joke anymore. I've stumbled onto something that wrecked me. I've been betrayed on a level no one else has ever seen. I was told this video was just a video of a car. It was just this car going down the road, and then I was betrayed. I have to watch something else to clear my head. What the hell is this in my recommended? Wikilocked? I'm sorry, Itzla. Turns out you couldn't trust me either. I'm unfortunately gonna have to leave you up there, stranded. This is where our story ends. You're right, I have no interest in the politics of Arlamore, but that does not make you my ally. I have no allies. My only ally is chaos itself. Everything we went through, that was all just to stand on a frozen platform? Okay, let's see what page is next for us. Tomotli Triumph. Oh my god, is this the boss from Heart of Darkness? Alright, I guess we're heading back for Itzla, who we left behind. Well. It looks like you're coming back to the cave. Whenever season 2 gets started, why don't you get off your high horse and just start the damn I'm making a new character on Runescape, but not allowing myself access to the wiki or any informative plugins. The only wiki pages I can view will be 5 random ones. I will then have to encounter them in game before I can generate a new one. Unlock the wiki one page at a time. I'm Scramp, and this is Runescape, Wikilocked. Hello, and welcome to season 2 of Wikilocked. The only RuneScape series that begs the question, what if someone was really bad at the game and didn't really know what they were doing, and you lock them in a room or lab with 5 random OSRS Wikipedia pages and told them, have fun. I'm Scramp, in the flesh, welcoming you to the Wiki Lab. This is where I'll be trying to explain RuneScape Scramp's interesting choices as he stumbles his way through Gilnir trying to complete 5 random Wikipedia pages, and where I try to explain to you my favorite Wikipedia rabbit holes to distract you from, again, how bad I am at this game. The 5 wiki pages we are blindly stumbling towards can be put into 3 categories. There are the quest-based items, like the crate part from the Big Brain Robbery, the Taste of Hope page from Sins of the Papa. There's also the skill-based ones, like unlocking the Portal Nexus at 72 Construction. And then there's the violence ones, which we will get to. So sure, we did betray Itzla, but we serve no prince, no king, but the random wiki page button. That's the nature of the random wiki challenge. I mean, when fate moves around the goalposts, it often ends up being right in the middle of a quest line about a theocratic cult trying to bring about the apocalypse. And you end up getting in and out in the middle and don't care about who you hurt or leave behind. But don't you worry, I did in fact face karmic consequences. The next page I rolled after that was Barbarian Assault, the prom of Runescape, where you ask out your friends and strangers and then you awkwardly shuffle around a big auditorium, yelling out dance moves to one another. But thanks to some friends in my Discord, I'm practicing real-life ballet moves, and mostly my friends in the Discord, but a little bit of the real-life ballet moves, but pretty much entirely the Discord friends, I was able to beat the queen 3 times, and unlock another Wikipedia page for the penance hat. Editing scram for those these the clips you're gonna put in? Out of all, you had to put those in, man? Come on. And karma hit us right back in the face again by sending us back to Varlamore to do our first ever combat achievement page, Remotely Triumph. Well, our first doable combat achievement page, because we also rolled Kill Corp 50 times. I don't even know where this dude lives, let alone how to kill him 50 times. Look at that motherfucker. He looks like a biblically accurate angel fucked a Yu-Gi-Oh monster. But for our wiki-granted combat achievement, Remotely Triumph, we need to make our way through the dungeon at the, hopefully, end of the Heart of Darkness quest, the one in which we quit in the middle as soon as we saw a little frozen tile. And then kill the boss with Glacial Tumotli, which looked like 2 teeth got frozen at the end of Ancient Floss. So it's time to rescue Itzla, who is hopefully doing well and will be excited to see us. But first, we might as well use some gear that we gained from our prom victories to help fight our first boss. And also, if it happens to impress Itzla, great. We can purchase the Granite Body from Barbarian Assault. The Granite Body is 50 defense, which means is objectively better than the Rune Plate Body that requires 40 defense. I mean, that's just foolproof RPG math. We're looking like David Byrne in our oversized prom suit. We're looking like how I did on prom. How fitting. Thankfully, I don't have a picture for me in my big prom suit I can find, but I have a close thing, which is me as David Byrne for Halloween one night, and then I walked into a bar to find 2 other David Byrnes immediately. I've never done a boss on this account, and in my RuneScape past, the only bosses I ever fought were Obor and Bryophyta, the Fisher-Price my first bosses of RuneScape. And I thought those were hard. Now that we're in this new chapter, this new season of wikilocked, I want to use the one skill I have. A commitment to the bit, and bizarre research to give me the combat skills to beat my first real boss. I know prayer is going to be a super important part of this boss, and prayer flicking is the process of enabling and disabling prayers in a way that you don't lose prayer points, in theory allowing you to keep up a damage blocking force field forever. And it'd be great to know how to do that to fight my first real boss. Unfortunately, the game does not easily provide you this game-breaking information, almost as if this wasn't an intended feature of the game. But I have to use everything I can to overcome my bad game skills by birth and my lack of game knowledge by challenge. I'm gonna try to figure out how to prayer flick on my own, by doing a comprehensive study to figure out the BPM of in-game ticks, and thus figuring out the drumbeat of the universe. If this rhythmic drumbeat is prayer, is communication with the gods, well then my question is, what is the makeup and musical styling of this band of gods? Well, with the handy-dandy extensive Wikipedia genre list, I can see that there's danger music, which sounds pretty hardcore. It's based on the concept that some pieces of music can or will harm either the listener or the performer. So the gods' music could be that, an Ark of the Covenant mixtape that blows your mind as soon as you try to listen to it. But there actually are real danger music bands. Japanese musician Yamataka Ai's noise project, Hanatarash, was notable for its dangerous live shows. The most famous instance being when the Japanese artist drove an excavator through the venue at the back of the stage. Or maybe, since this is an online video game, they're an electronic genre. But there are quite a few electronic genres to say the least. From my knowledge, the gods do not communicate very much with our characters on the mortal plane, and anyone who knows anything about the difference between ambient dub, kawaii future bass, and crunkcore is yelling it out to whatever poor soul is in earshot at the warehouse rave. But then it hit me. They're playing an endless jam on the fabric of the universe. They're a psychedelic rock jam band, a phantasmal fish, a grateful undead. They got Sarah Doman on the lead vocals, Zamorak on lead guitar, and Guffix keeping the balance on the drums. I don't know if the gods have shown themselves to the people of Gilneor, but I don't think they have. Because if they did, everyone would all know that they have matching tie-dye tees and rat tails. I want to join this heavenly jam, and I will try my best to figure out what beat they're playing on. This is my biggest scientific undertaking so far, one with much more in-game significance than figuring out the blood alcohol content or caffeine content of characters, though that is still important to know when you go in for your annual RuneScape avatar checkup. I know what you're saying, yeah, sure, I could just rush the boss to figure out what the fight is like, and if prayer flicking is even necessary. But the most important thing about accomplishing this wiki page is I first need the Glacial Tumultly, which according to the wiki is a rare drop, and I don't know this. I'm begging you guys, like, please, is a rare drop like not a lot? What is rare, right? Like, what's rare for RuneScape standards? Like, normally, like, I'd say 1 out of every 250 tops, right? Like, let's say 1 out of every 250 days, you got a soft pretzel at your local soft pretzel establishment after work. You'd be like, that's nice. What a rare treat. That made my day, right? So let's 250, right? Can we say 250? I might as well try this experiment and get a bunch of kills, like 250 per se on the Frostnagua, to hopefully get the weapon I need before I even fight the Amashliat. So, by the time it's even time for the showdown, I have my cool ass axes and the knowledge of the beat of the universe, and I can absolutely demolish the boss. But this undertaking is so significant for the account that I figured this would be a great first time to actually play live with a camera to document the scientific process. And it went about as good as you can imagine. Take it away, Scramph.
I got attacked by wolves. Oh, fuck. They're gonna kill me.
Thankfully, or maybe unfortunately, they didn't kill me. So I was able to start our experiment. Now, thanks to the Scientific Method Wiki, we have all the handy-dandy steps to conducting a scientific study. Our question? What is the prayer flick BPM? Our research topic area, testing on the dudes in the secret ruins. This is also a great area because if we're out of prayer, boom, just go right up to the megachurch up the street. Get one quick Easter show of a millionaire pastor playing with their expensive toys, and back to science. But what if we need a heal? Then we can fly over to the urgent care, the Tiamat, where we are healed immediately. Our hypothesis. I guess that would be what I think would be our closest BPM to an in-game tick? I don't know, I have no education in the game to even make an educated guess. But I do know people love everything about the Grateful Dead, so I found someone charting the BPM for Grateful Dead jams, and it hovers around 125 to 130 BPM. So I guess my hypothesis is that. Now, it's time to test with an experiment. And we're gonna start with our friend Control Carl over here. Say hi to the folks at home, Control Carl. You ready to help us with some science? Great! So we're just gonna have the Frostnagua attack you repeatedly with no armor just to see on average how much you can dodge it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, buddy. This is gonna hurt. It's just that we need to know on average how much we naturally dodge the attack, so we know how many zeros we get are actually from prayer. So you got this, don't be nervous, just imagine the Frostnagua with hair. Oh no, oh buddy, oh Carl, oh no, he's not missing. Oh, he can't miss. Oh, Control Car. I can't watch this.
Let's start out with 50 BPM. I'm so sorry. We're gonna be listening to this for a while.
Well, you are, Scramph. I edited around this. But we immediately did run into a few problems. I'll let you take it from here.
Is that ranged or is that magic? Excuse me, sir? Is that range or is that magic? Let me just leave it on to make sure it's the type of damage. It looks like it's magic. This doesn't count for the test. I'm gonna run the data. What was that? Did that take away my health? What does the down arrow mean? Did I lose like 15 points of will to live? So they're taking away my prayer. They're taking away my faith. They're taking away my belief that all the gods up there are believing in me, and they're soundtracking my experience to funky 18-minute long jazz fusion tracks. I know they're out there. I know they're shredding. I know they're shredding in a key that I don't even know, in a F minor diminished seventh sus chord ass fucking progression. Fuck. They're out there, I know it.
Now that we know what we're actually blocking against and what those other attacks are, we can actually begin our experiment, as long as there are no qualms that could undermine the whole thing.
I'm also realizing that it could be the right BPM and just be out of sync with the actual refresh rate, the tick rate of the servers, I'm realizing, and that I can never test for without having intimate knowledge of the game and or the client. But let's not think about that right now.
After deeper thought, let's still not think about that one. So we just continue to throw ourselves into these fights, going back and forth between two rivaling religious institutions like someone with 2 dates to the prom, filling up our prayer in the Twilight Emissaries megachurch, and then taking a quick shuttlebird flight over to the Tiamat to heal up for free. I really hope that Varlamore continues to be ahead of the curve of Western civilization and has free healthcare, because if a 1 million gold bill arrives in my player-owned home, I'm a dead man. But besides the looming American anxiety of medical debt, there's nothing that can stop us in our handy-dandy metronome.
I broke it. I broke the metronome, I accidentally knocked it off. It still does work, technically. I just gotta make sure, I guess, none of the motherboard and battery, none of the tech stuff falls out. You still get a beat. Oh. Still get a beat. Quick, any tech people. What looks wrong here? What? Quick. We're running out of time. We're running out of prayer. Should the battery be something else? Should I flip it?
So, I guess he was asking for any tech people to leave a comment, but unfortunately the episodes recorded exist outside of time and space in order to catch up on a consistent uploading schedule, so I don't think there'll be any use to Scramph in the testing zone. But this is a normal part of the scientific process, right? It was like when Marie Curie dropped all those microscopes. So we continued on without the actual metronome. I've used one of the many internet tools. The real metronome has been made obsolete, like many other Googleable tools, like watches, translation guides, or mailing handwritten letters to Jeremy Renner asking what he's doing every Wednesday. Because now with the Jeremy Renner official app, I can get official updates from Jeremy himself, like, have a rockin' weekend, everyone. What's the plan? And happy 4th of July. And I am Jeremy Renner. Are there any crack cocaine dealers in the metropolitan area? I am Jeremy Renner. Oh, that wasn't him. Oh, the app had to be closed because people were pretending to be him? Well, I guess that's not a problem with my online metronome, so we're able to finish our testing. But before our final results, a quick word about the Icemen we've been killing repeatedly. In over 300 Frostnagua kills, we did not get the Glacial Tumuli we need for our combat achievement page, which is over what I thought was a pretty liberal definition for what a rare drop is. So let me tell you, this doesn't feel good. I could really go for a rare pretzel treat day right about now. But I can tell you what they do drop. They drop water orbs, which looks like what they use for their bongs when they're in the studio jamming along with the Frostnagua Jam Band. They drop giant pallets of jugs of water as if we caught the Icy Uncles back from a Costco run. I got something called the Pendant of Eights, and over 400 Frozen Tears. I have no clue how this pendant operates. I'm sure the Icy Uncles just bought them in a fish parking lot while high on nitrous oxide. They drop prayer potions, which is actually huge. That's what big boys players use when they fight big boy bosses, and that's what they call them, and that's going to be us pretty dang soon, once we complete our scientific study on how to prayer flick it, like other big boy players do. So, with the computational power of the new wikilocked set, I present to you the BPMs we will be testing. They range from 50 to 140, just under a 100 range. I started at 50 just because, and ended at 140 because at that point it just felt too fast to accurately click and unclick prayer in. If Runescape is a rhythm game, and it is, if the natural resting BPM was 140, it would be like the bass song being Raining Blood. But we still don't know enough about this data, do we? I mean, we can't really identify what makes 120 BPM special, or 90, or 69. Okay, well, some numbers do have great agents, but to give us more context, I've also found references for each. So starting us off at 50 BPM, according to the website I was looking at, is just a bunch of white noise records. like genre classics, rain sounds for sleeping 44 continuous, no gaps, which honestly, as a big fan of white noise, I thought their later work was derivative. The stuff they were doing on part 20 or part even 30 was innovative, but once they got to part 44 continuous, no gaps, I really felt they were losing the whole plot. At 60 BPM, we continue with white noise music with Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. Because if you've ever seen a crowd of white people chant along to the backup vocals in the chorus, you know it's the whitest music there is. At 69, it turns out the song Agape from the If Beale Street Could Talk score is the exact BPM, and no joke here, it's a beautiful song and movie. At 80, at the top of the chart of this website, was Hoobastank's The Reason, which is the only time I'll ever say that the band Hoobastank is at the top of a chart, unless you count charts of stupid as band names. Because The Reason, their highest performing song, just made it to number 2 of the Billboard charts. At 90, we have Creep by Radiohead. I mean, this feels like a spiritual song to me. I witnessed a stranger perform this in a karaoke bar, and words do not describe how hilarious and haunting it was. Radiohead really tried to add in that high note in the bridge to stop people in karaoke from singing it, and guess what? It doesn't work. I was doing karaoke a couple weeks ago, and the second most performed song there was Creep. So, everybody, we should all go to more therapy. At 100, we have Superstition by Stevie Wonder, Dancing Queen by ABBA, and Switch by Will Smith. All 3 incredible songs and artists who will forever be remembered in the musical canon. At 110 BPM, the hits keep coming with Another One Bites the Dust. And 120 BPM has Come As You Are and Prince's 1999. This range will hereby be known as the lifesaver range, because when administering CPR, it's recommended to keep at 100 to 120 beats per minute. Staying Alive falls under this range, and has become the go-to CPR anthem, but funnily enough, performing the more somber and possibly accurate Another One Bites the Dust was more accurate in containing an accurate chest compression rate. The study was with canine doctors on dogs, but still. And now we gotta shout out our Frost uncles and all uncles. Coming in at 130 BPM is Party Rock Anthem from notable uncle-nephew spring break electro dance duo LMFAO. Thanks, uncles. You make things weird. And all the way to 140, we have Chappell Roan's Hot to Go. But the other searches, I think, proved me right that this is a good place to call it, because instead of white noise song, you're just getting a ton of miscellaneous 140 BPM workout mixes. Places, please. It's time to show the data. This is all from my own testing, which is fallible for many reasons, the first being my overall clumsy RuneScape in-game skills. The second, who knows if I was just out of sync with the tick refresh rate. So first, let's go to our Control Car Memorial Control Monument to see, on average, how often you'd get hit if you didn't pray at all. 24%. Okay, so 24% is doing nothing at all. So what about everything else? Okay, there we are. They're all at least better than the control, so we are doing something. So it seems to be getting better at the beginning before peaking at 69 BPM, and then immediately cratering and then going back up again. I guess before I would have assumed to be a pretty accurate slide off from both directions, leading from whatever our central BPM was, but that doesn't seem to be the case. 69 BPM was the one I felt the most comfortable with.
69's feeling good.
So, I mean, I guess that's what it's all about. So, I guess 69 BPM is the beat of the universe. It's all some kind of sick joke. Now, did I just subliminally play worse during those sections so the data can back up a silly joke? I don't know. Maybe. We can make data into anything we want it to be. Numbers are just math words, and we can write a sentence with them the same as any poet. And like a poet, we can just try to scrape at the surface of what it means to exist in this world and why we tick away at the beat we do. Sure, there's a concrete answer out there about what the BPM of RuneScape is, and maybe you know it. And maybe you have a plugin that plays it, so you can make the boss fights easier. Well, I don't. And I'm about to go into a boss fight closer to the truth of what I think the BPM is. And I have the most success living that 69 life. And who knows, maybe this boss battle will be so hard that prayer doesn't even matter. And all of this was for nothing, and I should have tried that out first. Maybe saying it out loud now, but there's nothing left to do than to publish our studies
and get ready for the next big test. 69ing with the Amashliat. We're going to be bringing our signature commitment to the bit immersion to this fight, to really feel the heat, or rather cold, of this fight. When I fight the Amashliat, every time I die, if I die, I will have to lower the temperature of myself and my surroundings. I'll see you there. This is Scramph, and Script. Thanks for waiting, and welcome to WikiLocked Season 2.
Again, if you're here, thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited for this new season and chapter of the account, and I really just want to shout out all the cool individuals you're seeing poolside right now, the members of the Lumbridge Community Pool, my Patreon, who made this all possible. I appreciate y'all's patience and support endlessly. This new season goes out to all of you. We're going to have a lot of fun. See you soon.